everyone, I am Jennifer SVK with VIP Kid, and I'm here to give you what I think are the top 5 mistakes new teachers make. And I pulled this list together from mistakes that I have definitely made before, and from things that I see in the Facebook groups with teachers saying, oh my goodness, I taught my first class and So I thought maybe I could help new teachers out there avoid some of the really common things that teachers may make a little mistake on when they're teaching their first couple classes. Alright, mistake number 1 is not giving stars through the lesson. In your VIP Kid classroom, you're going to notice in the top left-hand side of your screen, there is either one giant blank star or 5 little stars, depending on what classroom you are in. Through the lesson, you should be clicking on that star button and you get a star! Yeah! 1 star. Okay, you don't need to have them printed out. I do, because I like to use my visual starboard. I'm not sure how this gets missed, but it's something that I've seen come up pretty frequently. I think it's because in the practice classrooms and in your mock classes, you aren't using them, and sometimes they get missed in the training. But if you do not give your student the stars in the lesson, you are going to see Bao Bao start to look very upset and wonder what he or she is doing wrong, because these students are expecting their stars. This is motivation that you use in the classroom along with whatever secondary reward system you are choosing to use. I really recommend giving stars approximately every 5 minutes. 5 stars, 25-minute lesson, it just paces it out really well. I have heard of some teachers not giving stars until the end. I think that's risky because, again, you're going to confuse your student. They're going to wonder where their stars are. So, first mistake that I have seen new teachers do is not give stars. Please don't do that. Please give Bao Bao his or her stars through the lesson. Mistake number 2 is all about time management. Now, I'm not going to go into a whole lot of detail about time management tips. That could be for another video. There is also an awesome workshop about time management. But things that I have seen commented in Facebook groups are saying things like, this was one of my first classes, the student flew through it, especially if it was a unit assessment, and we finished in 15 minutes. And then either they left, which is like really bad, don't ever leave before 25 minutes unless the fireman canceled the class, or they are sitting there with like 10 minutes of trying to come up with extensions and playing games, and parents don't always look really kindly upon that because you are expected to, be doing time management through the lesson. So, when you're doing a unit assessment, please remember that they can go by very quickly if the student is really comfortable with the material. This is the same with a major course. They can fly by if you have an advanced student. On the flip side, I have seen teachers say that they went to 35, 45 minutes if they didn't have a class after because they got stuck on something. Or that they extended so much that they missed their next class. You really have to watch your time when you're teaching these lessons, and it's something that takes practice. I have definitely ended early and scrambled to come up with last-minute extensions, and I have taught up until like 29 minutes in an attempt to finish everything. So if you are, it's okay if you're not ending right at 25 minutes, especially when you're starting. The biggest tip that I got was to make sure that your slide number corresponds roughly to your class time minute. So if you are on slide 15 in a 25 slide lesson, you should be around the 15-minute mark. Now, this is just a guide because we all know that some of those slides take 2 seconds for the student to run through, and if it's a unit assessment, you could have 40 or 45 slides. So you definitely still have to take that as a guide, but it's been something that's really helped me so that I know if I am at slide 15 and I'm at minute 7, I need to slow it down and I need to make sure that I do some extensions through the lesson. But definitely watch your time, take the time management workshop, that is a great one to help. Number 3 is about teacher no-shows. So, new teacher mistake is to miss a trial rebooking class or to miss a short notice class. And I shouldn't say that's a new teacher thing. This can happen to absolutely any teacher. But new teachers may not always know how certain things work. So if you have been given a trial class, woohoo, you've got a class to teach, and you see, oh, it's been canceled. Oh, okay, I guess I don't need to show up. You have to remember that trial classes can be rebooked. They can be rebooked up until the class start time, and if you've switched the option on in your account, they can actually be rebooked after the class time starts. So even if you see canceled on your bookings page for the trial, you want to be refreshing your bookings page to make sure that nothing else gets put in its place. The second type of class that I know that teachers have missed are short notice bookings, and usually this is just because you forgot to turn it off. So short notice bookings can be booked up until 1 hour before the class time. So if you have opened up your classes and you're going to bed and your first class is a short notice, class at 5 a.m., but it's not booked yet, you either need to remember to wake up at 4 or 4:30 to see if that class has been booked yet, or you gotta close the spot. There is an alarm feature on the app that is supposed to alert you 15 minutes before a short notice class happens, and I think it's to prevent this, forgetting to turn it off and sleeping through it. The problem is that alarm sometimes doesn't work, so do not rely on the app alarms to remind you of class times. Always have a secondary alarm set, and make sure that it is set to go off before your first class, whether it is booked or not, because it could book while you're sleeping and you really don't want to sleep through it. Number 4, and this is one that, it took me a long time to overcome, and I say it's a mistake because I think it's something that we all do it, but we really shouldn't, and that is trying to be like someone else and trying to be like another teacher that we've seen on YouTube, or our mock teacher, or the referral that brought us in. If you're like me, I devoured YouTube videos when I was starting to teach. I still watch them because I think they are full of great information. And I try to be like those teachers, and I'm not. We may have similar personalities, but I'm not some of these other amazing teachers that I see on YouTube. And you aren't either. I mean, unless you are, in which case, oh my goodness, you're watching my video, which is just amazing. And when you try and be like somebody else, it's not natural. And the parents are gonna think that it's weird because you're acting. You just have to come out, you have to be yourself, you have to be the teacher that you wanna be. Maybe you are the bright, bubbly teacher that's bouncing around the room. Maybe you're not. Maybe you are the more serious, reserved teacher, in which case, you know what, those older students are gonna just totally gravitate towards you. Just be you. Let your natural teaching personality shine through, and don't try and be like somebody else. And the 5th mistake that I see new teachers make is overthinking everything. Look, there is a lot of prep work to go into teaching when you first start, because you don't know the flow of the lessons, and you're probably going to pull all your different props and have them all ready, and that is wonderful. Please keep doing that until you are comfortable with how this format works. But you do not need to have a prop for every single thing, and you do not need to have a different reward system for every lesson in every level with every different student, because you are going to drive yourself nuts and you are going to get totally overwhelmed. Now, huge disclaimer, if that's what you want to do, please rock on, do it 100%, but you don't have to. I suppose I should go on to say that you're gonna make mistakes in class, and that's okay. I've been teaching with VIP Kid now for 2 years, and I still make mistakes. These aren't limited to new teachers, but I do see them as being the mistakes that new teachers saying they're English, Jennifer, English. I do see them as being the mistakes that new teachers tend to say that they've made. So I hope that has helped. Maybe it'll help save you from one of those. If you are interested in applying for VIP Kid, Send me a message. I've got my Instagram and my email here. I would absolutely love to mentor you through the process, and I'm here to answer all your questions. Yeah, I think that's it for today. All right, see you in the virtual classroom. Bye.